This is N6TLU. In this video, we're going to repair a Kenwood TS-830s that was unfortunately damaged in shipping. This unit came from the original owner. It was N6JQI. He was a 92-year-old ham. I bought this from the family's estate. Unfortunately, they didn't know how to pack it. There was about one layer of fine bubble wrap around the transceiver. All the other accessories are in the same box, so it was just a big jumbled mess. The 830 has some pretty severe damage. Let me show you that, and then I've got a plan to fix it. So let's pan the face of the 830. I'll get nice and close up so you can see all the damage. This knob is cracked. Both of these knobs are pitched over. The VFO took the impact direct and actually has bowed the face of the radio. This is the carrier adjust, and mic level does not move. Luckily the mode switch does. This knob also took a hit. Let me get a straight edge and I'll show you that front panel. Alright, so there's a straight edge across the front panel. You can see the center is bowed in. You can see the gap between the back of this knob and the front panel. It's not because the knob's pushed out, it's because the panel's pushed in. Same over here with these two controls. The bezel behind the VFO knob is cracked. Luckily the VFO spins and it does not appear to be bent. So I've acquired a service manual and a ham on QTH.com. K2GTO had a knob set, and he had the sub panel that goes behind the face of the radio. I found a really nice clean face on eBay. So I've invested about $100 into parts to fix the 830. So the first step is disassemble it. I'm going to get the face off of this thing. We're going to inspect the sub chassis. I'm sure it's going to be pretty. Alright, so one note before I get started. The 830 has been powered and it does receive. I'm able to tune stations and it sounds okay. However, I have no transmit. There is no ALC when I go to transmit mode. I'm guessing that's because this control is damaged and the pop behind it is probably cracked. We'll find out in a minute. Here's the top popped off. You can see everything looks pretty decent in here. A little bit of dust. Things do operate. So luckily when the impact happened, it didn't drive these shafts back and destroy any of the things internally. Well, here's the bottom side of the transceiver. If you get up here, you can really see the bow in the front panel. You can see this switch here is cocked over that way, and of course this board with the carrier level adjustment is also pitched. She really took an impact. Got all the knobs off. Give you a close-up of those controls. Okay, get the face off next. Alright, face is removed. You can take a look at the bezel of the VFO. You can see it's bent up. And if you look real close on the sub panel, you see a crease. So it appears as though it took the impact down here and this buckled in. So maybe the control shafts aren't bent, but I'm not placing my bets on it. Well, I've got the sub panel loose, but there is a lot of wiring behind it causing resistance, so I'm going to take out every screw and retract all the controls and see if I can get just this sub panel off. Alright, the panel's pretty loose. She's almost ready to come off. The only thing now is Kenwood had these little ground posts that are soldered to that front panel, so I'm going to have to get those off there. After that, I think I can pull this whole sub plate off. So that was quite the involved process, but I've got the sub panel removed. Now I need to check all these controls and see which ones need to be replaced and start the reassembly. So this is the mic and carrier adjust pot assembly. Unfortunately, this one is one that's damaged. Threads are all chewed up. One of the sections of the pot is open, so I'm going to replace it with the donor. It's going to be quite the wiring job. Well, I had to move the radio out onto the normal repair bench because I need good lighting and a magnifying glass Here is the new control. I've got it all stripped and ready. I'm going to move one wire at a time onto the new pot. Okay, the new carrier mic pot is wired up, but I noticed something. This terminal on this pot is loose. It's making contact, but it's going to be intermittent, so I need to take care of that. Well, now that front panel's off, it's a great time to clean and lube that plate vernier drive. So I've got the soaking in lacquer thinner. This is a little clip that came off of it. When you're all done, lube her up with Deoxit L260D grease. Here's a note on this vernier. There are 3 balls that go around the diameter, but there's one inside on the nose of that shaft. So make sure to get all those out of there. Clean out that old grease. So in the nose of this brass assembly, you're going to find a spring, and that sits in this area. You can get that out with a dental pick. Make sure to clean off that old sticky lube and get everything back together. Next step, I need to start mounting up the sub chassis. Get all the controls and switches remounted so they're secure. And carefully put this thing back together. I've got the 830 in a position where it can be tested. VFO is still hanging out externally.
I want a good peaceful weekend. I don't think I do that curve. Yeah, right. Now, I think I can do it now. I don't know now. I don't know. I wouldn't do it either now. You might be back here and rip us for a long time. You got that right. You got that right. I guess I was thinking about it and I said, no, I did not do that.
It's receiving well.
My name is Jack. I'm located in Dallas, Pennsylvania.
Here's a status update on the 830S. I had the sub panel installed. All the controls are hooked up. Verified that it safely powers, and now I'm testing it. Alright, we'll take a look at transmit. I'm into a dummy load around 40 meters. Here's tune. See about 20 watts or so. CW, over 100 watts. We're monitoring on my Kenwood 820 for the audio.
Hello 1 2. Hello 1 2 3 4 and 6 TLU testing the Kenwood TS-830s. Sun 6 TLU testing the smashed TS-830s. There's the compressor. And there she is. Stock audio. Sounds good.
Well, it was quite the job, guys, getting that new sub panel installed. The wire harness was pretty tricky. There's a lot of ground points behind that sub panel. You got to make sure not to miss any of them. But it's back together, and it's looking like it's gonna work. Okay, mission accomplished. I've got the 830 all back together. Everything appears to be working perfectly, and it looks great. I was able to rescue this thing from the scrap pile. So during my final testing, I discovered that the plate current was excessively high as compared to the output I was getting from the radio. So I did a little research and found the information about the out of tolerance plate shunts and screen current resistors on the final board. I've replaced those. Here is my idle current. Go to tune. You see I'm getting about 20 watts. And if we go to CW, dip it, and we're getting well over 100 watts at about 240 milliamps. All right, well that's a wrap on the Kenwood TS-830s radio rescue. Normally when you receive a radio in this condition, it's scrapped out and gone forever. I had that option, but I just didn't have the heart to do it. I knew that with a little bit of work, which was actually a lot of work, I could get her going again. I do not recommend this repair to anybody, but it had to be done. So D-Lab pulled it off. So thank you K2GTO for helping me out with parts. And of course, let's thank N6JQI for supplying the radio. Rest in peace, my friend.